the first thing I need to say tonight is that Mannatech products do not cure or mitigate disease. That's not what the products are designed for. The products is literally designed to help people stay optimally well. There's a big difference between an illness and just being well. And Mannatech's products are essential nutritional requirements that we actually need in our diet that we're not getting anymore, due to the fact that we are, all the food is green harvested. We eat a lot of preservatives, pre-prepared foods. Even things like you'd buy oats in the shop, and you think, well, that's oats, but it's already probably been half cooked or pre-prepared. Unless you buy the real raw rolled oats. So what we don't understand about our food is the fact that we don't have the nutritional requirements anymore. And it's really critical to understand that every person actually does require the 6 core products of Mannatech. So I would like to just share this with you guys. I hope you guys can all see the screen. If you can't, somebody just say something in the text box. I hope that you guys can see the slides. So when we look at the Mannatech products, they're designed to work synergistically. So always do suggest the core 6 products for people. They can then decide whether it's too much for them, whether they want to spend less money. Let them make the decision. Don't you make the judgment decision. You suggest the core 6 products because that's what everybody does need. So the first one obviously is ambitose. Then we have vitamins and minerals, catalyst and phytomatrix. I'm not going to go into detail on these products today because I have something far more important at the moment to share with you. Then plus, anti and AO, an antioxidant, and we have omega-3 with vitamin D3, and we've got GI Pro Balance. And then what I always suggest for people is to choose the value bundle with the ambitose powder, the catalyst, the 2 bottles of plus, and the AO at a price of 2,160 Rand. That is a huge saving of about 1,360 Rand. Then you add omega-3 with vitamin D3 and the GI Pro Balance, and there you have your core 6 products. And immediately you can say to people, this is the optimal pack that I'm suggesting for you. This contains all of the vitamins, the minerals, the glycans, the plant sterols, and the probiotics, pre and probiotics that you actually require to stay optimally well. Now, obviously, then people have got certain specific core areas or targeted areas which they want sorted out. But I often find that that Mannatech associates then forget about the core 6 products. So if somebody says, I've got a heart condition, cardiac condition, then they say, well, use Cardio Balance. And then they forget all about all the other things. So whatever I say tonight, always add first the core 6 products, okay? The rest of the stuff is mostly additional stuff that you can add with the core 6 products. It really is more efficient. I've had a person lose, I think it was 22 kilograms in about 3 months on just the core 6 products without any of the weight loss products, with minimal additional dietary changes. So what I want to say to you is the core 6 products bring your body into homeostasis, and that's the most important thing. So always remember that. And then the next question I always get, and the stuff that I want to talk about tonight, is I want to help you to decide which products to suggest. And you really don't need to be a doctor to do this, okay? I'm going to give you some basic steps that you can follow. And if you follow these steps, it's going to be very easy for you to actually help people with products without you feeling that you don't have the required information. So the first thing that you need to understand as an associate is what is the difference between ambitose complex and advanced ambitose. We're going to talk about that. Secondly, we want to understand how do you distinguish inflammation from infection, and you see that just now why we need to understand that, because that comes in at the decision of whether you're going to use ambitose complex or advanced ambitose. And I'm going to give you some techniques that you can use. It's very simple how to distinguish inflammation from infection. And in fact, if you see what I'm telling you to do, you're going to laugh about it, because it is that simple. And then I'm going to tell you what the difference is between ambitose powder and the ambitose capsules. And then we're going to go into some body systems and some body product suggestions. Just remember to say to people that these products may help you, instead of saying, this will definitely cure your cancer, because that's immediately where we get into trouble, because that's setting an expectation that that the products actually are like medicine, and they're not like medicine. The next important thing to understand is to get people to commit to a period that they'll definitely use the products. You cannot create an expectation. I've often heard people say, oh, the products work for me in 3 weeks. That's great, but you're the exception, because for most people it takes 3 months. That's why there's a 90-day money-back guarantee. So that's very important to understand. Okay, so let's go to what is the difference between complex and advanced. So when we look at the two Ambrotose products, Complex was the first Ambrotose product, but it has been improved since. Since the advanced product came out, after that, they've improved the Complex further. So it's really important to understand that Complex is not an old product. It's not a product that's obsolete. It doesn't mean advanced is better. It's actually a pity it's called advanced, because it's not necessarily more advanced than the new Ambrotose Complex. So what you need to understand about the two is that Complex has a lot more mannapol. That's why it's more expensive. Have you seen the pot of Complex? It's 100 grams. Have you seen the pot of Advanced? It's 120 grams. Have you seen the price of Complex? It's cheaper, more expensive than Advanced. So it tells you that there's something in it that's more of bigger value, because otherwise it wouldn't have a bigger price tag. And the difference is the much more mannapol that's in there. And Mannapol is unbelievably good for inflammation. So Complex is definitely the better product to use for inflammation. Complex also contains, and this is an important point to note, glucosamine from shellfish cartilage. Now, what is important to understand is it's not actually shellfish that's in there. They take out the glucosamine. It's a microscopic molecule that they take out of the shellfish. That's like saying I got vitamin C out of an orange. A person who's allergic to oranges isn't necessarily allergic to vitamin C. So if you're allergic to shellfish, doesn't mean you're allergic to the glucosamine that Mannatech has taken out of the shellfish. That's a very important thing to understand. But there is a religious component, a lot of religions that don't eat shellfish. So that's very important to actually understand that, and understand that it does contain stuff from shellfish. Okay. But in general, I've never seen a person with a shellfish allergy that actually has an allergy to Ambrotose Complex. So it's not a major concern. But it is something that you need to mention to people if they say that they're allergic to shellfish. So Advanced contains more fucose. Fucose is much better for infection. So fucose helps you to boost your immune system. So it's better when your immune system is suppressed, or when you've got an infection and you need your immune system to quickly kick in, then you need to use Advanced. Advanced contains glucosamine from plant sources, so it's also good for those religious groups that don't want to take the glucosamine from the shellfish, right? And then I do have to stress that neither product contains iodine. If you want to know what Mannatech products contain, go to Mannatech Science, click on the products tab. The website's at the bottom here, it's mannatechscience.org. Click on the products, and then you go to the ingredients, and then you go and see what is actually in there. And I can guarantee you that ingredients have to be listed. They can't have a product that is certified by the NSF to be safe and to contain the right stuff if you don't list all your components in there. So if iodine is not listed on Ambrotose, it means there's no iodine in Ambrotose. And so we don't need to have an argument or discussion as to whether there is or there isn't. We go to Mannatech Science, we check there whether there is or there isn't, whatever component it is that a person says that they cannot use. Now, when you look at whether it's an inflammation or an infection, the first thing you do, and you're going to laugh at me because I'm a doctor, is that you Google the condition. Okay, now when you Google it, then you go to a reputable medical website like medicinenet.com, and you read the definition of the condition. And mostly it'll tell you if it's an inflammatory condition or whether it's an infection. It'll straightforward tell you this is an inflammatory condition. If you look at, if you read up about colitis, it'll say this is an inflammatory condition of the colon. And then you know it's inflammation. So what are you going to use for inflammation? You're going to use amyloidose complex, okay? Because it's better for inflammation. The person will get a far better response than when you use the advanced amyloidose. So what we've learned now is that what we used to believe is that advanced is better for cancer because it supports the immune system due to the added fucose. But now we understand that cancer is not actually an immune system problem. It's an inflammatory condition. And cancer responds better to complex because of the Mannatech. So we also use pure plain Mannatech for cancer. So it's really important to understand that cancer, although it's your immune system that has to fight cancer, it's at the core an inflammatory condition. And many people that have got cancer have got no immune system problem. They only get an immune system problem when they've had chemotherapy or radiotherapy. And normally the immune system is actually quite good. The problem is that they've got massive, massive amounts of inflammation. So if you look at it, at least 80% of all health conditions are inflammatory in nature. So we always start with complex, except where there's a poor immune system, an infection, or a reason that you need to avoid shellfish. So this is a simple solution for you to decide whether it should be an advanced amyloidose or complex. And then the next question I always get is, well, why can't I just use the capsules? They're so much cheaper, you know, and the patient, you know, people don't want to pay for the powder because it's more expensive. Well, if you look at the benefits, the powder is up to 10 times, depending on the advanced or the complex. The complex powder is up to 10 times stronger than what the capsules are. So if you take the price of the capsules and you multiply it by 10, that's actually what it would cost if you had to give a person the same amount. Okay, so it's really important to understand that a person can almost rather buy a pot of amyloidose and use it, stretch it over 4 months, than to actually go and buy the capsules. It's still better. All right. So the powder also gives you far better absorption. And actually it works out more cost effective, especially when it's bought as part of the value bundle. The capsules are not as strong as the powder, but they are more convenient. And if you read on mannatechscience.org, you'll see that the capsules do not carry all the approved claims that the powder does. So go to amyloidose, click on approved claims and read that sheet, because it tells you that the capsules do not have all the approved claims that the powder has. So if you want to get really good results, then please use the powder. I would say that capsules are good for students who want to carry around something and quickly swallow it just before they write their tests, you know, and literally people that have got a health challenge or a health condition or want to build up their entire well-being should actually use the powder. So it's really important to understand that, right? Now, if we get to the interesting stuff. So if we look here, you'll see on the right-hand side here where we have the brain. This is the brain here. I hope you guys can see this. It's in green. And for the brain, we always use amyloidose powder. We use omega-3, we use GI Pro Balance, and we use Plus. Those are your prime. And remember now I said that the first thing is your core 6. So all of these things are already in your core 6. I'm just pointing out to you which are the products that really, really actually help for your specific brain function. Now, when we talk about brain function, we talk about memory, we talk about concentration, we talk about people who have neurological, start with neurological disorders like Parkinson's and so on. So any brain type of dysfunction where people say to you that I can't remember things, that's when they need amyloidose. When we talk about dementia, that's when people definitely need these products. So please look at those. I'm going to send these slides to Elena, and I'm going to ask her to actually share it on the, or we can maybe post it on the group as well, so you guys don't have to struggle. But at the moment, if you want to take a quick photo of this, you're more than welcome, or a print screen if you're on your laptop. Otherwise, on your phone, just quickly take a quick screenshot. When we look at the heart, this red one here is the heart. We obviously always think about cardio balance just because of its name, but very importantly, we need to do omega-3, we need to do catalyst, and we need to do amyloidose. And as you can see, there are 3 products there that are already in the core 6. Okay, what we're adding is we're adding cardio balance to that. Then, when we look at the stomach, the upper gastrointestinal system, we look at amyloidose powder, GI Pro Balance, and GI Zyme. Digestive enzymes are unbelievably important for digestive function. You cannot absorb your food if you don't have digestive enzymes. So it's really important to give that to people that have got digestive issues, especially people that have heartburn, people that really struggle with bloating and with burping and so on, and people who have like just a discomfort after eating. When we look at reproductive function, and this is a woman here, this is the uterus and there's the ovaries, but let's imagine it's the woman and a man. So amyloidose powder, fantastic for fertility. So if you have anybody that says I can't fall pregnant, there's lots of amyloidose babies running around in the world, so amyloidose powder is superb for that. Cardio balance for the men, because it improves the vascular flow, to the male sexual organ, and that actually helps with erectile dysfunction. So that's really important. Even for women, for sexual function, cardio balance is really important. And then GI Pro Balance, because all of these things rely very heavily on your gut's good balance of the microbes in your gut, and then also plus and omega-3. These are all excellent for sexual and reproductive function. Then we go to, at the top here, top left, is the lungs, and amyloidose powder, unbelievable, because lungs often have inflammatory disease. People that have asthma, for example, very inflammatory disease, people just that have poor lung function, it's always due to inflammation. So when we look at what else do we need? We need to give omega-3. Now, a lot of people say, why omega-3 for the lungs? What does that do? And it has got to do with inflammation again, because omega-3 reduces inflammation. So if you've got any inflammatory disease, arthritis or anything like that, omega-3 is a really, really good supplement to use, but it's got really good effects in terms of lung function as well. GI Pro Balance, also important because of the fact that it's inflammatory, and a lot of it comes from the gut. A lot of your lung diseases actually originate in the gut as well. Impact has a directly really good effect on the lungs because it improves your VO2 max, which is the rate at which your cells take up oxygen. And the oxygen utilization in your body is really important for proper function. And you can really improve your lung function by just taking Impact on a daily basis. And then cardio balance, because the lung is a very vascular organ as well, and blood flow is really important. And a lot of the times, people's lungs are bad because their heart is bad, because their blood flow is bad. So cardio balance is really good for that. And then amyloidose for the liver. Sorry, I'm now here on the yellow piece here. That's your liver. About 70% of adults actually suffer from some form or other of fatty liver disease, because what happens in your body, you get inflammation and your body starts storing fat in the liver. So for fatty liver and for liver function, amyloidose powder is fantastic. GI Pro Balance is fantastic, plus omega-3. And then also lean actually burns fat out of the liver as well as replenish. The really pure quality protein that Mannatech products have got actually help you to burn the fat that's in your liver. So, and also the visceral fat around. So it's really very important to explain to people that, if they have a liver problem, that they actually need to take Osoline or Trueplenish. And then for your kidneys, amyloidose powder, catalyst, plus, and cardio balance. Once again, a kidney is a very vascular organ, very heavily relies on blood flow, so cardio balance is really important for kidney function. And then the colon, which is a little bit separate to the stomach, and it's a little bit different, requires amyloidose powder, GI Pro Balance, and Mannatech. I would say about 80% of the people that I see in my practice are actually hectically constipated. So, a lot of people actually need to take Mannatech on a regular basis because they just don't get enough fiber and stuff in to actually make their digestive system work well. And a Mannatech is not a once-off colon cleanse. It can actually be an ongoing colon product that people can use on a regular basis to actually help their colon work properly. Your colon has to eliminate everything in it within 48 hours, because if it doesn't, it makes your body toxic. If your colon becomes static, the toxins sit there and it reabsorbs it. It goes back to your liver, and your liver has to detoxify that as well. So it's really important to tell people to actually take Mannatech if they've got flatulence or bloating, people that say they have a food baby after eating. I don't know if you guys have heard that. You really need to actually make sure that they take Mannatech so that their colon can eliminate within a reasonable time, and the stuff doesn't actually putrefy in the intestines. So now we're going to go to more sort of complaints that people have. These are sort of body systems. Now we're going to just look at some complaints. Some people will ask you, okay, what can I use for my joints? I've got joint problems. Always Ambritose complex, because it's always an inflammatory condition, whatever it is. If you've just torn your ligaments and they don't heal properly, it's because of inflammation. So you need to get the inflammation down, and then the healing will happen properly. Omega-3, also anti-inflammatory, and then bounce back, fantastic for joint support. For eyes, Ambritose complex, omega-3, catalyst, incredibly important because it contains all the important vitamins and minerals. The eyes are so sensitive to vitamin and mineral problems. It's unbelievable. If you lack vitamin E, you lack vitamin A, lack omega-3, your eyes are immediately going to show you that you've got problems. But also all of your minerals. If you lack some of those minerals, your eyes just deteriorate rapidly. So catalyst is really important. And AO, because it's an antioxidant, and then also cardiobalance. Your eyes also need really good blood flow. So if you've got inflammation, one of the first things that happens is you get blurry vision. Your eyes start becoming a little bit blurry from time to time. And it's because they don't have proper blood circulation. It's really important that you then use cardiobalance. Nasal or sinus support, Ambritose complex, omega-3, Manna-C is a superb product for nasal and for sinus support. And then GI Pro Balance, because GI Pro Balance has got to do with your actual gut flora, and it helps you not be so terribly allergic to stuff. When you've got the right gut bacteria, you don't have such a bad leaky gut, and then you don't get these terrible allergies that actually manifest in your nose and in your sinuses. Bone support, so that's skeletal support, Ambritose complex, catalyst plus AO. Again, you could see here's the core 6, and I've added bounce back into that. So really important that you always tell people the best product is to use is the core 6. Okay. Mood disorders, once again, the core 6 products, as you can see here, straightforward, just the core 6 products, fantastic for mood. Really makes a huge difference to people if you put them on properly on the core 6 products. People who want to improve their exercise, top performers and so on, Impact, Oso-Lean, True Plenish, Bounce Back, and Sport. And I forgot the cardiobalance here, guys. You have to add the cardiobalance. I'm sorry. I will add it to the slides before I send them to Elena. I'm sorry about the slides. They're all disjointed and disconnected because I really rushed to make a couple of slides because I know that if I just talk, it's very difficult to keep taking notes, So I thought if I could just at least give you something that you can screenshot. But just remember, cardiobalance has to be added here. Fat loss, Oso-Lean, True Plenish, Catalyst, Omega-3, and GI Pro Balance. If you push those things for fat loss, obviously the core 6, plus is also really important for fat loss. But, I just wanted to highlight the ones that you can really drop in for people quickly and say, listen, this is really going to help you. And then anti-aging, once again, the core 6 plus bounce back and cardiobalance. As soon as I get a person who's aging badly, I always do the core 6 plus bounce back and cardiobalance, and it makes a huge, huge difference to people. So I hope that what I've shared with you has been of value. And I honestly hope that you know, that some of the questions that you've had or some of the concerns that you've had has been answered, and that you know get more confidence about recommending these products for people. It's not about the disease, guys. It is about just understanding that everybody needs the Core 6 products. And if people say to you, yes, but can I carry on using my vitamin B complex? Say no, because those are petroleum products. Mannatech's products are synergistically working to absolutely help people get homeostasis in their body, so that their body is 100% in balance. It's really important that you have the confidence in our products to say, guys, the Core 6 products is what you need to give you homeostasis in your product, in your body, instead of jumping in and out and trying to see, can I get a cheaper something? Can I put a cheaper package together? If a person is old and they can't take tablets, and they really struggle with tablets and so on, Nutrivirus is a great product. I love Nutrivirus. I also love Nutrivirus for older people's gut health. It's really, really good. I just couldn't touch on all of these things tonight, but I mean, if we have some of these sessions on a regular basis and we build our knowledge and we just keep on learning, but we stick to the important thing that everybody needs the Core 6 products. I really don't want you to get distracted and run off and tell people you now need this for this and that for that. Fix on the fact that everyone needs the Core 6 products. And actually, if you use the Core 6 products properly, you're going to save a huge amount of money, because what is your health worth? Health is, there's no money that can buy health. Now is the time that people need to spend building their health, so that when they're older, they don't struggle with it. I mean, most of us wait until we're older and then we struggle with our health and we try and regain it. Our selling point to people must be these products are for your future well-being. It's your investment. It's like buying an insurance policy. Okay, so gain some confidence about our products, guys. And the point is that you guys must also all test the products, and you need to use the products, and you need to be an ambassador for these products like nobody else. If your body gets into homeostasis, you'll have an entirely different outlook on life. Your eyes fly open at 5 o'clock in the morning and you say, bring on the day. I mean, can you imagine your levels of productivity and stuff if your body is truly in homeostasis and you wake up in peak performance every morning at 5 o'clock feeling as though, you could run a marathon? That is what we want for people. And that is what we're selling. We're selling well-being. We're not trying to give sick people medicine. We're selling well-being. And that's why this is a business for everybody. Not just for doctors, not just for sick people. This is a business for everybody. And everybody should be going out there saying to people, "How, so-and-so, how are you today?" And they say, "I'm well, thank you." Say, "Would you like to feel better?" And then they say, "Yeah, of course." And then you say, "Well, I have something that might help you." And then you tell them about the product, and you don't stop. And you tell everybody about the product. So thank you very, very much for giving me the opportunity. And for allowing me to indulge me in my passion. And I really enjoyed this. And I will send the slides to Elena, and then she can post it on the group. Thanks very much, guys. Over to you, Elena.
Thank you so much, Grietjie. That was absolutely awesome. And one can just feel your passion. I know that maybe there's some new people on the call that hasn't met you personally, but I know how you've turned your own health around, and we know that is why you are so passionate to help other people. And yes, we just want to say thank you very much. And with that, I also want to ask everyone on the call to just please respect Dr. Grietjie, because she's so passionate and because she's always willing to help people. Sometimes it almost gets her into a bit of a difficult situation, because people find her number via somebody and they want to message her all day long, and you know, she's got her own integrative health practice from home. So it's not that she doesn't want to help people, but she also needs to pay her bills. So I think if guys want to get advice from you, Grikie, they just need to go the professional route to book I think you still do a telephone consultation, and then also a sort of an in-person consultation, well, when it's open now after COVID. Great.
Yeah, thanks, Helena, for that. Thank you very much for clarifying that. I really love helping people, but I honestly, I can't help everybody on a daily basis that, you know, wants just advice on products and so on. So I get these long WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, voice notes, and so on, and it really takes a lot of time to try and tease out the stuff, and I can't. I don't have the time. So if somebody wants to book a consultation, if you'd like to book a consultation, you can contact me on WhatsApp. I mean, my number is on the group, and you could just say, I want to book a consultation, and then I'll arrange with you. If you're at a distance, we'll do a Zoom consultation. Alternatively, you know, it might be possible for you to come to me, but at the moment, I must say that 90% of my work is by Zoom because of COVID, and I obviously don't want to expose other people as well, because I do see some sick people here by me, and I don't want to expose people who don't have COVID. So yeah, so everybody's welcome to make an appointment, and I'm sorry that I don't have, you know, the capacity to help everybody all the time, but that's why I'm trying to give you the system so that you can understand how to do it yourself. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Grikie. And I think it's very important for all of us on the call to just take with us tonight to remember that what Dr. Grikie Strydom said is so true, that we have to basically offer people the core 6 always, because not only is it the best for them, but we're almost covering ourselves that, you know, when you too itsy bitsy versigtig and you only want to offer someone one product because you might think that they can't afford it, they might not have results that they want to see, and then it's difficult to say, yes, but actually you needed this, this, and this. But if you offer them from the beginning, you offer them the full package, and they do get results, they over the moon. But they can always later on, or if you offer them the whole package and they sort of trim it down and say, I can't afford this, okay, then you can say, okay, well, you actually need it all, but let's trim it down a little bit and see what's the most important. But I don't know if we've got time for a question or two. I think that might maybe be a little bit long. I don't know how you feel about that, Grikie. It's already 9:15. If you are open for questions, we can do it.
I'm happy with a few questions. I saw Leonard asked here on the chat, what about superfood? Superfood's fantastic for everything. I mean, everybody should be using a superfood in their smoothie or whatever. I mean, we're more and more moving towards Mannatech's supplements are actually food. And you know, you put superfoods in your smoothies anyway. I mean, most people put blueberries or whatever in their smoothie anyway, so you might as well buy something that you know is really good quality, has been perfectly grown, perfectly harvested, perfectly processed and packaged for us, that you can always have access to. You can't always get blueberries, so you know, and that contains like all the superfoods that you can think of. So yes, that you know, superfoods are absolutely fantastic, but you're not necessarily going to recommend superfoods for a specific ailment. As I said, you know, it's like well-being stuff, you know, so people use superfoods because they know it's antioxidants and the value of superfoods. So superfoods are magnificent. I mean, I have that in my shake every single morning, so I think that's fantastic. Anybody else maybe have a question? Oh, somebody's asking if they can send people, and then they, yeah. So what happens? Sanae is asking, would it be okay to refer possible prospects for a consultation and then they sign them up after consulting with me? That's right. If I know that a person comes from you, if you've referred the person, then I send them back with a recommendation. They get an emailed recommendation. They then send that recommendation to you. You can put the products in their cart and send them your link. so that they can then order their product. So, when I sent them the recommendation, I'll say, take this back to Sine and, tell her what your products must be. And then Sine will put it in her shopping cart off her link. I hope everybody knows how to do that. If you don't, maybe that's a good training as well for the future. And then you put the products in the link in the cart, and then you send her the link with the products in already. And then she can just click on it and complete the purchase, and then she's your associate. Whether doesn't matter that she was seen by me. Okay, anybody else? Porphyria, Clifford, course 6. Okay, so literally, guys, if you don't know, you go course 6. I promise you, because you're not going to make a mistake. And I promise you, a person with porphyria definitely needs course 6. Okay, definitely. So you're definitely not going to make a mistake. The only thing you're going to add, maybe you might, for some conditions, you might add cardio balance, or you might add bounce back. I mean, it's literally how it is. We haven't even touched on the immune system, immunostat, and all of those kind of things. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but also I don't want to make it too complicated, because then people think it is complicated. It's not actually complicated, guys. It's the course 6 in general. Okay.
No, thank you very much, Grietje.
Anyone else?
You did an excellent job, and I think we must call it a day right there. And then it'll be fantastic if you can share the slides with us. We'll really appreciate that. And don't be so hard on yourself. It's fantastic in the short time that you had to put it together. So we really appreciate it. And I think everybody has learned a lot tonight, and we do have the ability to go out and to help more people. So let's do that, you guys. Thanks once again, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you on Thursday evening on our team presentation at 8. Okay, guys, have a great evening.